Listen again.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to our video for the week.
Yeah.
Joined by Dean the Dream Martin, Lane the Legend Kramer, Classy Thomas, and Dean. It's not often that companies do something that is so incredibly stupid that I genuinely think Mercari may have ended
Wants
their
to go out of
business
business.
today. Like,
Yeah.
like I genuinely think someone bet against Mercari. That's in like I can't believe it. I genuinely cannot believe how stupid the thing that they did today was. So let's see here.
Yeah, when you first said it, I was like, okay, that
I was
doesn't
like,
sound
fuck
like a
yeah.
big deal. Yeah. I
So
was
let
like,
me
cool.
give you the timeline. Let me give you the timeline. So this morning I saw a post. It was in the Patreon chat that Mercari is eliminating seller fees. That's all I saw, and I did not read any of the post. Screenshotted it, put it in the show sheet chat. Didn't think anything about it. I'm like, damn, Mercari's the fucking place to go. Even the Patreon was like, bro. Percha was like, I just spent $100 on eBay fees this week alone. Like, this is huge. Now, when I picked up Vivi at about 5 o'clock, I saw someone post an image, and I believe I have this image here. And this guy says, can you please cancel my order? Now that you pay zero fees, the buyer has to pay them. My cart was your item plus shipping, but when I paid, it charged me over $400 since I'm paying the fees instead of the seller. Now, I read that and thought, that guy's an idiot. He just didn't think of tax and shipping. Now, the way that Mercari updated their terms of service, and indeed, in the statement here, they say, at Mercari, we remain committed to second-hand selling as easy as rewarding as possible. With the removal of selling fees across our platform, we're setting the new standard for peer-to-peer marketplaces and incentivizing even more sellers to choose Mercari. I'm like, damn, fucking hook, line, and sinker, you got me. Now, it's not all sunshine and roses. So the next paragraph, which is what I didn't read, was in addition to zero selling fees, Mercari is simplifying the buying experience with an all-new returns policy. As part of this policy shift, buyers will be charged a service fee allowing for hassle-free returns. So every purchase that you make on Mercari, you are paying a 5 to 10% service fee to use their platform as a buyer. Now, the seller has no selling fees, but the buyer has buyer's fees. The interesting thing is on Reddit, people were testing it, and some items, Dean, like, you know, when you make an offer on Mercari, it used to tell you, like, sort of the out-the-door price. Like, you could submit your offer, but before you hit send offer, it would calculate tax and shipping and all that. Some listings, the older ones, don't have the buyer's fees added in. Now, Mercari is supposedly going to be updating these at some point, but at the moment, it's kind of like not really clear what listings do and don't have it. Now, in addition to paying this fee and having this hassle-free return policy, that Mercari allows shoppers to initiate a return within 3 days for any reason, right? Before you had to have a legitimate reason. You can buy it, change your mind. You can buy it, break it, decide you don't want it. For any reason, you can get a refund. And it's on all items on the platform. So, to sum that up, one, the sellers don't pay fees. The buyers are paying those fees. So as a buyer, the items are more expensive for you. As a seller, you might not be paying fees. However, you also have, at any point in time within those 3 days, for any reason, including you just found a better deal, for any reason, they can initiate a return and it's automatically accepted. Now, in addition to that, today on March 27th, they're now charging sellers a $2 fee for every direct deposit withdrawal. This was previously free. Now, if you're doing instant pay withdrawals, it's $3. So basically, if you want to pull your money out, it's $2. If you want to do instant, it's $3. And so they want you to kind of keep your money on their platform. Now, I've heard even from some people, if you're using the money that you have in your like Mercari account, you don't have to pay some of these service fees. I haven't confirmed that yet, but it just seems really shitty. And I don't think the answer is like what they've announced is really good for anybody.
Yeah.
Some of the comments here,
Yeah.
and I realize I want you guys to take some of this as well, but let me just get through some of these comments here. Sellers don't want this. You've effectively destroyed your platform overnight. This was my main platform, but now everything is deactivated. Yeah, zero selling fees, but there's a fee every time I want to cash out my earnings. This is actually worse than the old structure for both buyers and sellers. Horrible change. I've been a seller for years on Mercari and seriously consider moving all my items. And buyers have to pay a fee. Who thought this was a good idea? Worse for buyers and sellers. And I think it's right. It's not a win-loss. It's not a win-win. It's a loss-loss around the board. Like there's no one's coming out ahead here.
Except for
And-
Mercari.
Except for Mercari, that's right.
Well, in theory, Mercari, but they might also be destroying their platform. So the guys who may come ahead are going to be eBay in like Amazon or things like that, because people are going to go back either to or onto those platforms instead, just because whatever hassles they have to deal with are going to be, hey, this feels like a lose, and this is a platform that could tank faster than the Titanic. So
Yeah.
I probably want to not do anything on here to see what happens. Just wait to see what happens.
There's hate in the Reddit. And it just makes no sense, because let's say Rainer got bamboozled by this today. I mean, it was only a 10% fee. But if you buy a $100 item, you're paying a $10 fee, right? You're paying tax and you're paying shipping. If you return that item, you don't get the service fee back, you don't get your tax, and you don't get your shipping. And I think you might even have to pay. Yeah, it's a part of the service now. You don't get any. I have never heard of a marketplace like this charging the buyer's fees. That doesn't make any sense. The whole idea, right? The CEO is saying, like, because we're taking sellers' fees out of the game, Mercari is now going to be this marketplace where everything can be cheaper because sellers don't have to add those fees in. But it's not, because at the end of the day, either if it's in the price to begin with or if it's in the price added after the fact, the buyers are still paying those fees, right? They are forced to pay them, and at sometimes not even being able to estimate what that payment would be. This is such a stupid decision.
Yeah, and if you're not getting the fees back, you're not getting the shipping or the taxes back, then you're not made whole.
Exactly.
You're not made whole.
Like this. Go ahead, Lee.
Well, also as the buyer, then if they're doing this way, you almost have to plan that into now. What is the pricing you're going to put items up for? Because you might have to put it in for less. Like you had a $250 figure was originally what you were thinking, but now if they're going to charge you
10%,
charge the person an extra, $15 to it, you might have to put it up for $235 or $220 to try and get it sold. Because that's what people are now automatically who go on Mercari are going to be trained for. So you're going to make less money.
So, yeah, it's like Mercari was like, well, we want people to be able to sell things, so not to screw them over. But you really are screwing them over, because now they're going to have to ask for less. Because it's like, well, if I don't ask for less, this person's going to either buy it somewhere else or demand, or, ask for less, because they're going to have to pay the fees. And it's like, why bother at that point? I'll just go somewhere else, because I can ask this person to sell it less all day long, but they don't have to.
Right.
Exactly. Now this is a screen capture here of two different orders. So you can see here the service fee on 172.26 was 1080 plus a processing fee, which I don't think I've seen that before either. So you're paying about $16, almost 10%.
That's looking like you're ordering delivery to your house.
It's like Uber. It's exactly what it is. Like, it's like Uber Eats.
That's
It's like
what it looks like right now, and it makes
like
it confusing.
You're getting a
And
$5 foot long. It's fucking
looks-
$46 by the time it
That
gets to your
looks
door.
exactly like my bill. Whenever you pop it up on Uber Eats, that's exactly what it looks like.
What it looks
You're like, what is
yeah.
this? What is this? I mean, this makes it more confused. It's you as a buyer. Does it when you, even though it may not be a ton more, don't you just automatically, when you're seeing
That's a ton
1, 2,
more.
3, 4, 5? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but you're looking at a list of like
Yeah.
5 different fees. It just don't you just when you
It's
see
defeated.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Mhm.
it turns you off almost. Just
I almost-
doesn't know how much it is. You just see 5
Look,
fees and go, what?
I'm not saying that eBay is without its faults, because I think it is an imperfect system as well. And I think old Mercari also did have faults as well. So I'm not saying either system was perfect. But what I do think is going to be the premier place to sell now is going to be Facebook groups like Collect and Make Auxiliary, 16 Republic BST. I think also local sales, right? Can you imagine you bought that Razor Crest? What was it, $300? And then you're paying $30 service fee, $15 payment processing fee, $30 tax, $40. I mean, you're adding literally almost $100.
Yeah, I might as well have just bought it retail.
Yeah. There we go. Eddie Aero Maestro says, had a seller cancel my current order because of this, took our business to Instagram/PayPal. I could see that happening as well, 100%. Yeah, this is one of the most boneheaded decisions. I don't know who the fuck thought any of this would be a good idea. It's like they're trying to pat the sellers on the back like, hey, by the way, there's no fees. Like, this is great. But we're also going to fuck you over because of returns and also make your customers less happy and go to different marketplaces.
This is like the game engine company Unity when they decided how they were going to charge fees and everything for the different upgraded engines, and then everybody had a revolt because they were going to have to be paying like a portion of their game sales and stuff to them.
Yeah,
it's
like, hey guys, we're on your side, but they're not. They're fucking you.
They're on their own side.
They're fucking the buyer for paying these fees, and they're fucking the seller by making that seller have to ask for less.
That's
100%.
I hadn't read the whole thing when I read like you did the first paragraph, and I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. But I was also I was skeptical, going like, okay, I must be missing some part of this because there's got to be something else here that. And boy, the next paragraph just like dropped the atom bomb.
Yeah, because you would put it in the chat, and I was with my sister, and I was like, oh, this weird Mercari's getting rid of seller fees. And her first question was, how are they going to make money? And I was like, I don't know.
That's what I thought too. I was like, maybe I have to watch an ad or, play a little mobile game. Who knows? But anyways,
Mercari Shadow Legends.
It was nice knowing you, Mercari. Good luck with everything.
Which sucks because they were they were an alternative to eBay and stuff like that. Yeah. And if they do go down, less choice for where you can go do this.
Now this is just Mercari USA, right?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Okay. I don't know the answer to that
question. I only asked because those figures I bought, the ones I just showed, I got through Buy.com, which is a proxy service that lets you buy things from Japanese websites that you don't have access to. Oh. So all the stuff I bought was on Japanese Mercari. Mm. So I buy the item through the website. Buys it from the seller. The seller ships it to Buy, and Buy has like a pile of loot kind of thing. And it's like, well, once all your shit is here, you can ship it. Now, that costs money, right? They're providing you a service. Mm-hmm. And shipping is also not cheap. So I still think I came out ahead because I shipped 3 different orders in one big-ass box. It's like $80, which wasn't cheap. But I was like, well, 3 items divided by $80, that's about right, if I wanted to ship each one individually. But if now I have to pay them on top of Mercari fees, it's like, why fucking bother? Like, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I'm pretty sure it's just a Mercari USA thing, but dear God,
I've just never seen a company shoot themselves in the foot that hard. Equan says eBay stocks went up 2.14% after this announcement. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But anyways,
I never had any success. Well, I'm not going to say any success, but I didn't have much success with Mercari because like I would order from a buyer and I had so many ones where they canceled. All right, they kept my money for like 4 or 5 days and I thought that it was on its way, and then all of a sudden I get a cancellation notice. And so I was like, wait a minute, why are you canceling after about 3 or 4 days and you've been holding my money? I mean, it's I don't know. So I never really liked Mercari. So I mean, I'm not losing any sleep over it, but it sucks. It sucks for people who do use it.
Yeah. I use Mercari every day.
Oh wow!
It's like the first app I open when I wake up. I'm like, what's on Mercari today? And I'll check it 4 or 5 times throughout the day. Have my save searches on because I've gotten crazy good deals on Mercari. But it's like, why even bother now?
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. Anyways, we will get back with you guys next week. We love you, and we'll catch you on our next weekly video. All right, back to
Nice.
After Dark.
Back to After Dark.
Well, so
It's professional, boys. That's how you do it.
how do we follow that up with platform suicide? We can mention.
Do you? So the chat really wants to talk about Jack Sparrow. I was ideally wanting to save it for Tuesday, but what do you think, Dean?
Up
to you.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
if they want to talk about it, I guess. I don't like talking, weekly news on.
Make
Wednesday,
a call,
but
Dean. Make a call.
If it's up to me, I'm not gonna disappoint the viewers.
All right, here we go. We'll just touch on it briefly. Let's see.